But government's about leadership, and we just do not seem to have... I can't point to too many major reforms in the last couple of decades that this country has achieved that would change a structural deficit. By definition, won't change unless something in that structure changes. Us regular folk have to balance our own budgets, and Labor have deficit budgets for the next decade on increasing debt. They can claim credit for two surpluses, but then ignore continuing with those surpluses. Surely, like we all have to do, isn't it time for both sides of politics to provide real tax reform and balance the national books by making the tough decisions for our future?
Angela.
Yeah, so it's, first of all, the government isn't a household budget, so it's important to remember that it is there and it can borrow money, and at certain points running deficits is the right economic choice and running surpluses at other times. But more broadly, we're in a situation where it just doesn't add up at the moment. So structurally, we're not raising enough revenue to cover the costs going forward. So we have what we call a structural deficit. We need more tax revenue. And the question is, well, where does it come from? And look, as Allegra has alluded to, at the moment, it's workers, right? And so it's this intergenerational issue. The working age population is expected to carry this huge load in Australia of all the services for largely older people. And we need to rebalance that. We need a broader tax base, and we need tax reform that looks at other forms of taxation that then make it easier for workers in particular, working age people, to get ahead. If we keep going down this path, I think the concern is, and you can see it just ratcheting up and up, the share that working age people are going to be paying. It's bad enough as it is now, but it's going to, get up above 50%, which is where it was when we had the GST reforms. Working age people are going to get squeezed and squeezed and squeezed, and you're going to see productivity drop, you're going to see participation drop, and our overall economy is going to suffer. These are tough choices, Patricia. These are really tough conversations about who wins and who loses. And we need our political class in Canberra to come together in a bipartisan way, like they did in the 80s, right? Like, let's go back to the 80s.
Good hair and bipartisanship. Pam, I want to bring you back in. What are you frustrated by?
Well, I'm frustrated because we have, the understanding the difference clearly between a household budget and a government budget, very different things. But government's about leadership, and we just do not seem to have... I can't point to too many major reforms in the last couple of decades that this country has achieved that would change a structural deficit. By definition, won't change unless something in that structure changes. And we seem afraid to make decisions that are going to cost votes. The bipartisanship, I think, is just so important that if everybody politically could work together on the economic and the housing and the childcare and all these issues, fight out the politics on everything else. There's going to be elections to win and lose. But while it's all about votes and not losing votes, I can't see how we're ever going to get... And when I hear 10 more years of deficits, I'm not really sure those deficits are for the best benefit of us. Yeah, it does. I mean... We talk about, I'm middle-aged, so I'm worried about what's going to happen for my kids. Yeah. And there is absolutely a real challenge we've heard from some of the young people tonight. Like, there is a massive challenge for them, and they do not have it better than what we had it. When's somebody going to step up, or a party, and I'm very middle ground politically, and go, you know what, we need to make these changes and tough decisions. And a tough decision means somebody might win or lose, or short-term pain for long-term gain, because most of us in our businesses and life, we have to do that. Yeah. So why can't it be done by government?
All right. Well, should we take him to the budget tomorrow? I feel like you might be great to take in. Thank you.